Hello, Victory Village. How is everybody doing tonight? I'm fine. Setting up for the live show. I actually had thumbnails and everything, set up, and I couldn't get in. So I had to delete and start all over, but it's okay. I am here. We're going to talk about the week's events and what happened, what's going on, the bare facts. Y'all know how we do. Happy weekend, everybody. Happy weekend. Indeed, it is Saturday. It is the 12th, and we are getting these hours in. Shout out to the 10 who are already in the house. How are y'all doing? Appreciate y'all being here. I am going to get my YouTube up so that I can see out when you comment and all that good stuff. I have like so many things. There were so many things on the list to talk about tonight. It's just ridiculous. So many things. I need to correct also that name. It says Noman instead of Norman, so I need to correct that. Go in my studio here. Is everybody having a good weekend? Did anybody do anything exciting this weekend? Yes, no, maybe? Are y'all just getting the weekend started? What is going on? What's going on with y'all? All right, let me correct this. And it should say Norman. Okay, there we go. We got it together. Tim Norman is on the docket tonight. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. We have so many things to talk about tonight. I am using StreamYards because I wanted to share my screen, and show y'all some articles and some receipts and all that kind of stuff. But I think we on my show. So I definitely want to put some time in to let you guys know what R. Kelly is up to, what's going on with his cases. As you guys know, R. Kelly has several cases going on at the same time, ranging from criminal activity to child support charges. Like R. Kelly is busy. R. Kelly has done some dirt. R. Kelly is busy for no reason. Thank you for my thumbs up. I appreciate it. R. Kelly needs to have several seats. I'm not even going to lie. He needs to have several seats. I can't even with this guy. I cannot. Listen, let me tell y'all something. After looking over everything that R. Kelly has done, hey, Twanna said we have the same name, just spelled different, right? Hi. Hey, name twin. Hey, Carla. Oh my God, that is I never meet anybody with my name. Never. I never meet anybody with my name. That's crazy. Listen, y'all. Hey, Casino. I, you are not the only one who is disgusted with Tim after like reading all of his stuff and everything that he's done. Like I could do a whole 2-hour show just talking about Tim Norman because I find out things that I didn't even know existed about him. I had no idea of some of the stuff that he was even involved in. Look, y'all, I got a thumbs down already. My hater is giving me thumbs down already. I told y'all, I could be on 10 seconds flat and that thumbs down is coming. So y'all watch. Hey, Laura, y'all watch out for the, what do you call them? The trolls or whatever, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be in here. But I told y'all, I'm always going to, there's a hater out there working against Twanna Y'vette Speaks. I don't know why. I don't know if I've offended somebody. Like, I don't know, but I'm always going to get that thumbs down. Like from the moment they see that I'm live, like, but thanks for the view. Hey, S Swan. Thanks for the view, hater. I appreciate you being in the room. Dang. I'm like, what have I done to you? So Casino started it off. She said, I'm so disgusted with Tim. So we're just going to start with Tim. I was going to start with R. Kelly, but you guys are my co-host. You guys run the show. I just follow y'all's lead. Hey, Betty, how you doing? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I just cooked dinner for tomorrow. I'm doing like a little bit of keto, um, with the chicken and the green beans, the chicken and the salad, trying to get my weight down, but I'm also trying to get, you know, out of pre-diabetic metamorphosis, if you will. She said, no, start with 10. Hey Tanya, listen, my people, when you see them and they have like the little emblem beside their name and they're a different color, my they're not only my admins, but they are my members. So if you guys want to become a member and get exclusive content on the subjects that I talk about on YouTube, then by all means become a member. The first package is only $2.99, and I would love to have you as a part of the Victory Village VIP. Would love to have you as a VIP member. So Betty is in here. She's great. Monica, good evening. Casino said, I just lost 70 pounds on keto. It's the best. I'm glad to hear that because, I just really need this weight off. When you have fibromyalgia like I do, weight makes it worse because you have all this extra fat on your body. And I'm only 5'7". I'm like 5'7", 5'7.5". So I'm not super tall. I'm like average, but I can tell when my body gets too heavy. It messes with everything. It messes with your skin. It messes with your voice, messes with everything. And so I literally need to get some weight off. I'm not trying to get super skinny. I just want to be in a healthier zone. And I want my doctor to tell me, hey, you're not pre-diabetic. That's what I want. Okay. That is what I want. So I'm going forward in Jesus' name. Hey, Lemon Pepper, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Come on in. All right, I'm going to switch over to my YouTube screen so I can make sure that my members are modded up and that hey Ree, how you doing? The Ree, you got your blue ring. Now, whenever you become a member, you become a mod. That you guys are my mod squad. You get exclusive content and all that good stuff. So, you know, I will say that I do pamper my members, but just saying. I'm just putting that out there. Let's see. We're going to start with Tim Norman. Tim and his crew have been doing the most behind the scenes, okay? I'm just typing in Tim Norman case so I can make sure I have my notes together. So you guys know that Tim's boy decided that he was going to stay in jail, right? And I was, speculating. I was like, what is it that, makes him want to stay in jail? I don't understand that. It could be because he's afraid. He doesn't want to go out. Some people have said he might be homeless and you know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have anywhere to go. And I'm interested to know what you guys think because at the end of the day, I can't see anybody in the right mind wavering their rights. Like that doesn't make sense to me. So you want to waiver your rights, you don't want to go home. You know what I mean? And I don't know the financial stability of this person. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea of Travell's financial situation. So I don't know if he is homeless or not. This is just speculation from, the viewers and the fans of the show and stuff like that. Um, Yeah, he probably figured he would be denied. I agree with that. It may have been, well, I know I'm going to be denied anyway. So, you know what I mean? But I just thought that was kind of strange. I was like, that's really weird. Really, really weird. I plan on dissecting all of this tonight. Um, So I had some people say, look, can you talk about something else? Because I am so sick of Tim Norman, whereas other people are still catching up and I'm still getting comments on the whole case. So if you have not seen all the information on the Tim Norman case, I do have a playlist with all the videos in there and all, of the tea, the evidence. I have got video on the text messages, on the court dockets, the whole nine. So if you haven't seen the playlist and you want to catch up on the Tim Norman case, feel free to watch it anytime. I'm trying to put all of the videos in one playlist so you don't have to search through them. And a lot of the information I am getting from justice.gov, as well as the local courthouse in St. Louis and Clarion, the Clarion Ledger, which is where I'm at right now. Uh, oh my God. It is something. Hey, Jacqueline, it is something. You guys just don't even know. This dude. But I'm going to go back a little bit if we can. If we can go back just a little bit, and I'm going to check out the Clarion Ledger. St. Louis is where this is coming from. The federal prosecutor said Wednesday that they won't seek the death penalty. Now, this was a ways back. This article, we're going back to November the 27th when they said that they would not seek the death penalty. Now, a lot of people were like, I don't know why that was taken off the table or whatever. Well, you know that Tim has a team of lawyers working for him, and that probably set well for him as well as Terica. I am still unsure as to whether Terica Ellis has her own legal counsel or not. I don't think so. I can't find any paperwork that says she's hired anybody, nothing in the blogs, nothing in the news. I'm assuming that she has, just public counsel or whatever. And there are rumors now, which I hate to say the word rumors, but there's stuff going on that says, hey, Trisha, how you doing? That either Terica Ellis or Mr. Travell Hill will turn state's evidence. What do you guys think? Like, that would be a shocker. There's also talk on justice.gov that there is somebody else that they're waiting on. I don't know if they're collecting evidence to get this new person involved, or if they, are just like, let me stack enough evidence and then we go pick them up. We don't know whether it's a male or a female, but the people that are working this case keep saying that there are others involved. Now, the speculation is Travell Hill is the shooter. Okay. And with that being said, if he is the shooter, then he probably does have some evidence, verbal evidence that nobody knows about. And so we definitely want to know what that is. So maybe he decided to stay in jail, not prison, but in jail up until next year when the court date is set, so that he could work out a deal, so that he could figure some stuff out for himself. Is he going to get his own legal team or lawyer? Who knows? If he doesn't have any money, as speculation goes, then he probably would be in the same shoes as Terica Ellis. However, Yall and Tim, they do have their own legal counsel. I don't know how deep rooted Yall's counsel is, but we know that Tim has the best of the best of the best. Here's the thing. There are other charges against Yall. So he's not only going to court for the Tim Norman case, but he has other things that he has done that don't have anything to do with the Tim Norman case. So when he was picked up and rearrested, it had nothing to do with this. It had everything to do with something else. And Travell, yes, he does have a record. He is not clean. But I will say this, his record is not as dirty as Tim's. I'll use a clean word. Tim has robbed several people. He has been involved in a kidnapping. Okay. Not just robbing, the McDonald's and the car parts store, but individuals. So it is not weird or strange or odd that people think that he's the one that robbed his mom. Now, this is my commentary on the whole thing with his mom. When she sued him and she was taking him to court, in her paperwork that I showed you guys last month, she knew that he was funneling money out of the business. He had to get the money from somewhere to start these businesses up. So as he was funneling money, I guess he figured that she didn't know. When she called him out on the money on the show, Welcome to Sweetie Pies, when it was still on air, he said that he was hiring, new managers, and, he was taking the money and putting it back in the business because he needed new regional managers for the restaurant, and, this, that, and the third. And then they were having problems with the upper crust and all of this. So it seemed like it was warranted. It seemed like it was warranted. You know what I'm saying? But here we are now in 2020. And I'm sure that Miss Robbie knows the whole story. That this money that he was funneling and embezzling, if you will, allegedly out of the Sweetie Pies franchise was to open up TJ's and then another Sweetie Pies restaurant, not the one in Mississippi, because that's the one that Miss Robbie obviously knew about. And that's where she's working at right now, because Tim is not in Mississippi to take care of the restaurant. Of course, he's locked up. So it lays upon her to deal with that particular restaurant. Out of the three that he opened up between 2019, remember he was hiring on his social media, and he was before he got arrested, he was hiring. That was his last post on his Instagram, that he was hiring, and he had people sending resumes to his Gmail account. Okay, well, after the show, and Miss Robbie was sick and she decided she wasn't going to renew the contract. So the last season up until 2019, there's only one restaurant out of the three that he opened up that survived. The one in California, someone asked me about. Um, yeah, that restaurant, it is labeled as closed down because of the COVID, because of the pandemic. So I'm just going to run with that. However, on Yelp, ooh, they got some of the worst ratings I have ever seen in my life. I didn't see not one good rating on the California store at all, not one. And I just was like, oh my God, talk about ruining a reputation. When you see the name Sweetie Pies, I don't care what city or state you're in, you automatically think this is going to be some good food. Okay, get my plate, get my fork. I'm about to throw down. And it wasn't like that at all. The rumors, someone asked me also, Chelsea, was it true that Tim was charging $20 a plate for a two-piece? Yes. Two pieces of chicken, one biscuit, two sides, and a drink was $20. And it is said, allegedly, that it was because the cost of living in, California was more, than St. Louis, was more than Mississippi, was more than in the South. I'll buy that. But I don't think that Tim did any comparison shopping. So was there any other soul food restaurants in California that he could have, been pricing competitively against? I'm sure, or something similar. But at this point, every restaurant that shut down, whether it was because of the pandemic or not, or because of the hurricane or, natural causes, whatever, he said the business is shut down because of it is burned up money. Never going to get that money again. Miss Robbie's never going to see that money. He's never going to think to pay Miss Robbie back. Never. It's never going to happen. Not even on the table. If Tim happens to get off, which he won't, He's never going to pay his mother back for all that money. And I'm talking about thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for a poor restaurant and poor ratings all over the internet. And you can't erase whatever's on the internet. We all know that. So you left a legacy of a piss poor restaurant in California. Yeah. You left a legacy of a piss poor restaurant in California. Thanks, Tim, for almost ruining the reputation of Sweetie Pies. And that's hard to bounce back from, especially in a pandemic. Now, in St. Louis, Missouri, did the franchise take a big hit? Yes, but it was not just because of the pandemic. People stopped eating there because of Tim. The fighting in the kitchen, treating his, workers poorly, whatever rants that he would do before all of this stuff even hit, before the pandemic, before he was arrested, the fussing and fighting on the internet with Janae, people were already, seeing it as a lackluster experience. But then when Tim got arrested, it really put a hit on the business. Did the businesses fail? Absolutely not. But it took a big enough hit, to where they had to come up with some strategies to, come back up. You know what I mean? People don't believe this, but it's not enough just to have the best fried chicken or the best turnip greens or the best whatever. This is kind of like when we go to Chick-fil-A, we go for the entire experience, whether it's inside or the drive-through. The drive-through could be wrapped around the building, but we know we're going to be eating some good food with a smile, and everything is just pleasant when you go there. It's not that the chicken is so great. It is good, but the experience, and it just people lackluster. If you ever go to a restaurant and you can hear people fussing and fighting in the kitchen and cussing and all that kind of stuff, it's not that good. It's not that good of an experience. So they do have on Yelp some mixed things back and forth, which I completely understand. I would not want to dine in a place that didn't have a pleasant atmosphere. Casino said, can you imagine the cash flow? He was dipping in the cash, dirty books. Oh, yeah. Now, and when I he had, no matter what Here we go. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, and I don't know where I stopped talking at. I'm like, what is going on? Please forgive me. I don't know what happened, but we're back. GGT says, I thought it's hard to open restaurants due to all the inspections and money you have to put into it. Gigi, it is. Now, what we saw on the show after going back and watching, bits and pieces, what we see on the show is the guys coming in, the contractors, and saying this is what we have to have happen for this particular state because every state is different. Hey D, yes, we're talking about that. Where did I go? Something happened to my internet and I fixed it real quick. Praise God. So I'm back and we're all good to go. Um, but the inspections that they had to do and everything, most of them would be passed. So you have to keep going back until you get a 100 so that you can open up. I don't think that Tim opened up a restaurant prematurely, but I do feel like he hired some people that weren't 100%. I will just say that. And that's just my thinking based upon what I saw on the show and looking at the legal documentation that Miss Robbie had, how, you had to pay these people in advance for some of their works. And when you give somebody a deposit for, working, whether it's a company that's on that check or whether it's an individual, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Going on. And I feel like personally, that's a huge reason as to why Tim Norman didn't want to tell his mother all of the information, because she is a walk the line type of person when it comes to the business. And Tim knows a lot of people who, may or may not have been licensed to do the plumbing. Hey, Santo. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. But when you know people who can work and get paid under the table and they may or may not have a license, so they work after midnight and all that kind of stuff. Yes, girl. Yes, Gigi. Absolutely. And some of these people that he was working with, they had an inside foot in the door, so they could get some things passed here and there. He had ways of doing things or whatever. And if you are not familiar with that type of stuff and you were watching the show, you would miss that. You would just be like people that Miss Robbie was using. And so Tim sneakily took the guy that's supposed to be on Miss Robbie's side, and of course he would be powwowing with that guy, Tim would, and why that guy wouldn't go back and tell Miss Robbie, everything is beyond me. But I thought he was on Miss Robbie's side, but I guess money talks. So, you have to look at things like that. And going back on the show and seeing things that I may have missed is a huge deal for me right now, because it speaks to Tim's character. As when the show was on, I think it was just all cotton candy and lollipops because it was a new show. We weren't really paying attention to Tim. We're more so paying attention to Miss Robbie and Charles and Andre and the like that, and Monique. I loved when Monique would come on the show. I used to hate to see Tim and Janae, getting into it or whatever. But now, and even if all of this stuff, allegedly isn't true, which I believe 50 to 75% of it is, I don't have any respect for Tim Norman right now, because if what Janae is saying is true about him not seeing little Timmy Jr., okay, you had a restaurant in his name, with TJ's Sweetie Pies up there, but you don't see, hey, Miss Diaz, you don't seem to understand that you need to see your son on a regular basis. That's upbeat, lighthearted show. Exactly. So we weren't looking for Tim. Nobody was paying attention to him. We knew that that was Miss Robbie's son or whatever, but as soon as, he's got this bad, vibe about him, and it's like, you have like your favorite people on a reality show, and then you have people that you could care less who was on the show. I'm not saying that was it. Like, I'm rooting for Tim when he would do like the Scared Straight program, where he would go in and talk to, the young boys, the young men, who may have been fatherless or whatever. And he would warn people, hey, you don't want to behave like this. You don't want to act like this, or you'll end up like I was. That's commendable. Your morals and values come in at is like, hey, Tim, I hear you saying this, but guess what? You're still doing crappy stuff behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you're a hypocrite, if you will. Um, let's go back. The Dreamer, hi. How are you? Welcome. I noticed that Tim was disrespectful towards his mom. Miss Robbie was there for him during his incarceration. Let's talk about that. Not only was he disrespectful to his mom, hired, it seemed like he was disrespectful too. Um, I would have thought that he would have been more sympathetic to people that his mother was hiring, because she was that person that would give you a second chance. And it just seemed like if you got in Tim's way, okay, if you got in Tim's way, then he was probably going to have a problem with you. If you got in Tim's way, if you didn't agree with him, if you guys didn't see eye to eye on some stuff, he was probably going, you know what I'm saying? You had to see things, his way. And there were little things like when he had the delivery service and Andre and Charles were, his employees on that, and his mother didn't really, she didn't think that was such a bad idea. Well, this is a project for Tim. We'll let him do that, because you're not opening up a restaurant. You're just delivering the food that I'm already over. So yes, that's fine or whatever. But you took it to a whole nother level. And the way that you treated, me, and I had been Charles and Andre, I would have been like, no, I'm not going to drive the cars for you. I'm not going to do any of this for you until you apologize, until you start treating me better, until you start treating me like a human being. I'm not going to help you get this part of the business off the ground. You know what I mean? I thought it was real suspicious when he hired Danielle, because to this day, I still don't know what she was supposed to be doing. Just saying. Who knows what Danielle was actually supposed to be doing? Jacqueline says Tim Norman was a hustler on the show, up to no good all day, every day. He was definitely up to no good. Casino says Charles knew right from wrong. He is a sweet, tender-hearted guy. He did. He knew right from wrong. And the thing that this really drove me insane was that Tim was asking to be trained properly. You know what I'm saying? That's hardly ever. I used to work fast food when I was a teenager. You never see anybody saying, I want the proper training. Tim was always too busy. Charles would be like, well, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to do this? And it was never Tim that actually trained him. If he got any training from anybody, it would be Miss Robbie or his aunts. It's never Tim. So when he chose Charles to that restaurant, I thought it was a little strange, because I thought you said that Charles, he couldn't handle it. And then you put him over everything, but you're cutting corners in the kitchen to give the business a bad reputation. I can't. Yes, Betty, he is way too old to be a rapper. I'm not trying to see no 50-year-old rapper. I'm not. So I'm so sorry, you. I am not trying to say a 50-year-old rapper that you have no songs. You cannot be a rapper. Get a real job. I mean, listen, we all know Oprah Winfrey pays very well. And if you have any access to Oprah Winfrey at all, it's just like she has the Midas touch. He could have had a spinoff show. I bet he wasn't even thinking about that, because he was touching ground, becoming a public speaker. That could have been a spinoff show for him. Anybody else agree? If he had played his cards right, smart, instead of plotting against Andre, instead of plotting against his mother, instead of funneling money out of the, restaurant and all of the other accounts that Miss Robbie placed on there, mishandling, misuse of funds, mishandling and misrepresentation of the logo Sweetie Pies. The list went on and on and on. Everything that Tim did, she had it listed. Everything that we didn't even think about on the show, she had it listed in her lawsuit against him. And it made perfect sense. Yes, he did all of that crap. And it was ludicrous for him to think that Miss Robbie wasn't paying attention. Of course she was paying. She can see you, fool. And when it comes to, does Miss Robbie believe Tim's guilty right now? Her son is guilty. I think that Miss Robbie definitely knows that Tim is the mastermind behind all of this stuff. I absolutely think so. I think that she is just, she has a mother's love. But imagine being in that situation where my grandson, he's been deceased for a long time and we still don't know who the killer is. And then one day you find out that your son has been arrested for the murder and he's the mastermind behind all of it. What do you do? You know what I mean? What do you do? It's probably a relief that she doesn't have to worry about the death penalty, but at the same time, I can't imagine Tim ever getting out. What is he now, like 42, 43 years old? I can't ever see Tim getting out. Never. I think so too. I think Danielle was useless. Lucy said he's off the chain. I still don't know what Danielle's. Can anybody tell me what Danielle's title was? I guess she was Tim's assistant, but what was she actually doing? Lucy says, as a mother, we know our children, and she knew she had to do what she had to do. I think she knows. I think she definitely knows. I think that she is in agreement with her spirit. And she really, how do you talk to your son and say, you just need to confess. You just need to tell the truth so that all of this can be behind us? Because I still feel like if Tim were to talk to his lawyers and say, listen, this is the truth, this is what happened, maybe there wouldn't be a continuance and we wouldn't be waiting till 2021, for this trial. Because he holds the key. If you're the mastermind, you hold the key. And I still feel like he probably hired, if Travell is not the shooter, to get a shooter, perhaps. It's quite obvious that Travell and Tim knew each other because Travell was in his music video. So it's not like they were perfect strangers. You know what I'm saying? So, mm, Lucy, oh my God. But you know what? Danielle says that she was auditioned for the show. Yeah, I think she was. I think she was an add-on, could add to the show. Maybe he was like, she'll add some controversy. She's pretty, but until his relationship with Jennifer, I feel like Danielle didn't really have a storyline. You know what I mean? Because every time she talked about, what she wanted to do with her future, it had nothing to do with working in a restaurant. She didn't want to cater. She didn't want to cook. She didn't want to be the face of Sweetie Pies or whatever. She wanted to do, she wanted to model and, all this other kind of stuff, whatever, which she's an Instagram model now. If there is such a thing as an Instagram model, that's what she does. She's always on Instagram in a bathing suit. So I guess maybe she's living her dream, perhaps. I don't know. But at the end of the day, when Jennifer and Tim were together and she gave Tim the idea of Danielle being the social media maven for the label, he took that idea and ran with it for Sweetie Pies. So I think she was a little bit while they were on the show. You know what I mean? I feel like that. But what she was doing on the show as Tim's assistant did not warrant a paycheck. Because unless she was doing behind the scenes stuff, or unless, she was Tim's go-to, perhaps, she intercepted the mail. She had her hands on things that, she probably shouldn't have as an assistant. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just kind of, you hired a young girl so that she could do your dirty work. That's just looking back on it. That's just me. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. I think she will. I don't know about being scripted, Reed, but I guarantee you that her role being hired, Tim presented that. You know, he needed a barrier between, you know what I'm saying? So if he did get his hands caught in the cookie jar, he could possibly blame it on her. But nobody was actually addressing his dirty work because it didn't seem so, far-fetched or whatever. Nobody was really questioning him. His restaurant was doing good. Whatever he was in charge of was doing okay. When he started making stupid changes, like the security system and stuff, I felt like that was just, he knew how to throw distractions up so that nobody's paying attention to what he was actually doing. You know what I mean? Decampa says that Terica will talk and tell what really happened. I feel like when the trial comes in a few months, she definitely is going to say some things that we don't know. She's going to talk and she's going to say some things that we haven't heard. And I feel like the new guy, Mr. Hill, I think he's going to talk as well. I feel like he's going to say some stuff. You thought Jennifer was a gold digger. She absolutely is, in my opinion. I feel like the only reason Jennifer was even introduced to Welcome to Sweetie Pies is to make her entrance in to, as I saw her, I said, I guarantee you she's coming back to Basketball Wives. And that fall, there she was on the panel with everybody else, still lying, still making a mess. So by the time Jennifer got on Basketball Wives and the season began, the season opened up with Jennifer going to court because she claimed that Tim was a stalker. That's hard for me to believe because Tim is a narcissist. If you don't have time to stalk anybody, that right there, I don't believe. But I do believe that, she had an ulterior motive in, you know, going after Tim or seeking Tim as a mate because she knew that show was good. Because most of them do that. You'll see them on commercials or you'll see them on another show and then it segues into, their return, on a season. It's kind of like the reality wives. Each one of them every year, somebody's going to get a song out of, and a record deal or some crap. You know what I'm saying? It's a pattern. Ree says she said they all lived together in LA, which is true. They all had a flat in LA. They didn't pay rent because Tim was supposed to be taking care of that. And that it was a mess. Yep. They set her up and put her in precarious predicaments. I feel like she wasn't as smart as she thought she was, and she just got herself into a little bit of a mess. But if you don't think things are, because this was supposed to be, I'm not going to say a spinoff, but this was supposed to be a completely different part of the show where Tim wanted the cameras to go in on other reality TV shows. You know what I mean? Like Mob Wives and stuff. When Big Ange was alive and she had all these girls living in, that one apartment in New York or California or wherever they were. It was kind of like that idea. The cameras were supposed to go inside Tim's flat to watch how they all, survived in the house. It wasn't supposed to be a mention. He literally wanted cameras to go in there. So it didn't work out. It did not work out. Danielle admitted that it was an acting role, that they did a casting call, and she was and is an actress and never intended to work. And it's my suspicion the whole time, because she always said that she wanted to model and she wanted to design clothes. And, she was always about the look, the hair, the clothes, stuff like that. So I guarantee you she's telling the truth on that account. Tim couldn't keep up with Jennifer. I just think it was a farce. I think that Jennifer, was just a prop. I didn't see any lovey-dovey connection between them at all. It just didn't seem like a romantic thing. Betty says that she wanted Tim to buy her that ring. You can get along with a man who buy you some carrots. You know what I'm saying? But Tim didn't have that kind of money. Look at who Jennifer was married to. Tim does not have basketball wives money. He wasn't broke. Tim wasn't broke, but he didn't have that kind of money for sure. For sure. Hey, Val, yes, about Danielle. About Danielle. She did do an interview for one of the vloggers here on YouTube. And I listened to a little bit of it. And yeah, I would, is she team Tim Norman? No, I don't think she is. I think that she has a lot of respect for Miss Robbie, but what I want to know in today, in here in December 2020, I would like to know how Charles feels about this whole thing. And trust me, I have reached out to almost everybody in this family, and I would really like to talk to Charles to see where his head is at and what he feels. Does he actually believe this? I was honored enough to get Andre's sister. She didn't want to show her face, but she did write a pretty lengthy, message to you guys. So I was honored to get that, because I didn't know she watched my show. I had no idea she watched my show. And I'm like, oh my God, So when she hit me up on Facebook, I was like, oh, thank God. So I wanted to keep that momentum going. But at the time that I was reaching out to Monique and Charles, I think Monique was on vacation and they went with her. So, and see if I can get one of them to actually come on the show and just talk about their time on the show and how it was to interact with him, because understanding his knee-jerk reactions is key to this. I think that there's something that I feel like I'm missing as far as his mental stability. I don't think Tim was in a mental space to deal with all of this being thrown into the camera and the TV and the show. You're already dealing with the restaurant. I don't think he was in a mental space to deal with all of this. I really don't. And I feel like if he wasn't on medication, I feel like he probably should have been on some medication. And just looking at him, I knew right off the bat that he dealt with something like post-traumatic stress disorder, along with depression. I just felt like he's going to snap. And he was snapping on the show. Like Tim had his moments where he was just snapping. You know what I mean? Like when he was on me and she was saying no for whatever reason, I felt like in a minute he is going to kick that door in. Like I just felt that energy, like he was fixing to just, you know what I'm saying? Like just punch through the wall or something. That was very intense to watch when he would just snap like that. That was very intense to watch. And I just felt like his mental stability was questionable while he was on the show. Sincerely says that Jennifer was not lying about Tim stalking her and lying on her, but she was in it for the shmoney. I do. I think that she needed that show to segue back into Basketball Wives, and it worked. We were it, you know. I didn't even know they had broke up. I thought when she went back to Basketball Wives that they were going to continue, and maybe that would have been Tim's segue into a big time network. You know what I mean? He would have been seen on the show with Jennifer, but it didn't work out that way. And maybe if Jennifer hadn't have asked for the ring, they would have stayed together, and then he probably would have been on a couple of scenes on Basketball Wives. But I don't think it would have been a good fit because, again, Tim doesn't have baller money. And he didn't have baller money back then. He wasn't broke by any means, but you know what I'm saying? He wasn't a tycoon. You know what I'm saying? So the evolution says that Danielle basically said that she was slightly disgusted by Tim. Slightly. D, yep, Vel, I saw that too. Danielle being disgusted by Tim. I don't think she thought that he was all that he said. You know, he was a bit of a liar. He would definitely stretch the truth on the show. Hey, Jacqueline, I believe Charles is really hurt by Tim and what he's done. I do too. You know, I don't want to get Tim on the show and then, you know, he break down or anything. I just feel like it's important to understand the psyche of someone who would do something like this. What was your mental stability during the time that you were taking out these policies, these life insurance policies? I mean, was it really that you thought Andre was leading a reckless life? Or did you actually have plans? Did you actually plan? Because see, here's my thing, you know, and I'm just going to say it because I've said it before, you know what I mean? And I'm just going to say it. When Tim found out that Andre was working with the police and he didn't have anything against working with the police, I felt like he knew then he needed to stop Andre. He knew that Tim was the robber of Miss Robbie's house. And Tim has probably done some other things that Andre knew about, and he didn't want anybody else to know. And so if he didn't shut Andre up, you know, it was going to be a whole nother ball of wax. Now, that's just me saying that. I don't have any evidence. I just feel like you had that policy on Andre for a while. It was you know what I'm saying? You had that policy on Andre before Andre was ever on. He didn't have a dreadlock in his head, okay? You put as soon as he graduated, like what made you do that? And then we heard the voice messages, we heard we read the text messages. So we know that you were lying to YL as well, talking about Andre's father was right there with you. How creepy is that? Your brother is deceased and you're lying to YL in the messages saying that his father is sitting right there with you or Andre is sitting right there with you. And oh, well, I can't really talk about it because I'm in here with people, blah, blah, blah. That is some crazy, ludicrous stuff. If my brother was murdered, I couldn't even mention my brother without breaking down into tears. I'm talking about an ice cold wall has to be or something. Like there's something that I'm missing that I don't understand. Like, come on. It's just, that's creepy. Hey, Crystal. Yeah, Tim did play everybody. Crystal says that Tim played everybody. Oprah, Miss Robbie, Andre, Charles, Janae, Jennifer, the staff, the TV, everybody. He played everybody and he was playing it pretty well. He was playing it pretty well. D says, yes, Tim was trying to make Andre look like he stole from Miss Robbie. I totally agree with you in that. I feel like he wanted everybody to, you know, be on the I hate Andre train. And it just wasn't possible. The whole time Andre was on the show, I liked him. And I didn't know why talked about until after all of the dust had settled. I didn't follow him on Instagram, so I didn't even know that he was posting stuff on Instagram. I had no idea. But if you get on a reality show, you have to know that there are people hired to look at your social media to see what you're doing, you know, in real life when the cameras aren't rolling, when you go to sleep or you're supposed to be asleep or whatever it is you're doing. There are people, there are eyes on you because this is a business. It's a corporation. And so, yeah, they're going to be like, listen, what are you doing? You can't do that. You're representing the own network. Hey, Shawana. Hey, girl. I got my phone so I don't so I don't miss you guys' comments. I do apologize if I missed anybody. But listen, narcissist is just one of the, woo, my God. Hey, you guys, check this out. I'm going to be drumming up some exclusive content for my members. So if you want to be a member, all you have to do is hit that join button, and it's only $2.99 a month, less than a cup of coffee. So join the Victory Village VIP and get on that exclusive tip. By the way, I figured out what I was going to do. My diet and exercise plan, I am going to share that with my VIP members, okay? Not that I'm trying to leave everybody out, but that's where the information is going to be. So if you want to know how I'm doing the keto and the meal replacement and all of that, then join the VIP, and that way you can work out with me. You can get into the members only live streams and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm doing there. Okay. All right. Let me go back to this. Thing, the Clarion. Now, this was in November, right? Let me go down because they added this. The fourth person charged in murder for hire case involving Sweetie Pie star Tim Norman, who's the son of Sweetie Pie's owner, Robbie Montgomery, and the victim, who was her grandson, appeared on Welcome to Sweetie Pies, which ran for 5 seasons on the Oprah Winfrey Network. And it was saying that when Travell, a death penalty review process, which is triggered automatically when a federal crime is punishable by death, is still pending for another alleged co-conspirator, the 29-year-old Travell Anthony Hill. Now, that right there is what I wanted you guys to understand. And I'm going to put that in the chat so you guys can read it yourself. I wanted you guys to understand that the death penalty is off the table. Erica. It didn't say anything about Travell. And I put that in there because I want you guys to understand that Travell was the last person indicted. So he could still face the death penalty if he is the shooter. Let's not count that out. Philly Phil, my girl is in the house. Hey, boo. Hey. I love Philly Phil. I be stalking your channel, girl. I be watching. And the next time you have that seafood boil, I'm gonna need to be in the room, Phil. I need a plate, ma'am. I need a plate. Are you cooking this food? Because I need a plate. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm so honored. Listen, I was watching Philly Phil before the Tim Norman case broke out, so y'all have to excuse me. But it's a couple of people in here. Sincerely, A Lucy, because she is the bomb vlogger, and Eat with Philly Phil. Shoot, Philly Phil made me get up and make my own sloppy joes one night. I ain't even gonna lie. I wasn't even thinking about no sloppy joes until I saw Philly Phil. I said, shoot, I'm hungry. I said, I'm hungry, okay? I am hungry. But listen, the tea that I just dropped in there for you guys, I just wanted y'all to know that the death penalty wasn't taking off of the whole table for everybody, okay? This is it's a federal crime. National news is only going to give you the big scoops of information as this story develops. You understand what I'm saying? So this is one of the reasons why because they have big scoops of information that, I can bring to you guys or whatever, even though nobody else they may not be reporting things, but Clarion Ledger, they're awesome about this. So the death penalty review process, it's still pending for 29-year-old Travell Anthony Hill. Now, my question to you guys is, do you actually think Travell is the shooter? Like, he hasn't been named as the shooter, but it's just speculation. But do you think? Because I kind of think yes. I think yes. I'm serious. I really do. Phil, what do you think? I'm so yes, I know about them sloppy joes. I told y'all I be on YouTube. I watch YouTube more than I watch TV. And I have to live vicariously through you, Philly Phil, because I'm on a diet. I gotta lose weight. So I can't eat, but I can watch y'all eat. uh yes, sis. What's the link to the membership? It says join right underneath the screen. All you have to do is click that and do your $2.99 and get on the mod squad team, become a VIP member so y'all can get that exclusive content. I'm so thankful and grateful that I got that button because I was thinking about doing a Patreon and now I don't have to. And I can do all the stuff that I wanted to do with just one channel. So I'm excited about that. Oh, thank you. Look at her dishing out comments. I appreciate that. A long road of podcasting, you see. So, and then my mama made me sing in church. So, yes. Candy, hey boo, how you doing? D Campus says whoever shot yeah, Andre, Tim made sure that this plan would carry out and then went back to LA. See, here's the thing that I don't understand. And Philly Phil and y'all help me out with this. You are the master, right? Why do you need to be in the vicinity? Why did you need to take the trip if everybody else had things in place? Were you somewhere watching? Did you give your phone to somebody else, Tim, while you kind of, traced around and looked to see if it was actually happening? Because the only reason a criminal mastermind would even put himself in the same city or state as an assassination is going down is if you don't trust the people that you put in place. You have never, ever heard of somebody actually being in the vicinity when they have people doing the crime for them so they can keep their hands clean. Am I right about it? We all watch CSI. We know what it is. Why was Tim actually there in the first place? Hi, Aunt. How you doing, Boo? Thank you, Rhea. I appreciate it. Positively. She said, plus, why did Tim have to wear a bulletproof vest to Andre's funeral? He showed no type of emotion when they were all doing the reunion show. Let's talk about that bulletproof vest. So, first of all, and it wasn't the balloon release. This was the actual funeral. Tim, number one, showed up late. Tim, number two, came into the building with a security guard in front of him and a security guard behind him. And number three, he and the security had on bulletproof vests. Now, if you're going to go to that length, why didn't you feel it was important to secure the rest of your family? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to anybody else, or is it why did you do that? Hey, just be real. I did miss you. Where you been? That's what narcissists do. Is that what you're saying, Betty? Because I don't have extensive relationships with narcissists. I usually cut them off. But you're right, just be real. Tim's not very smart. Yeah, there are certain things about the whole case that I just have a mountain of question marks about because I don't understand why you would feel the need to be in, you know what I'm saying? Weren't you in California or Mississippi? You were in Mississippi when you got arrested. You should have stayed there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of flying back and forth, and there wouldn't have been any need. It was like some things were smart and some things were stupid. Like he said, we can still be a record, so we need to get the disposable cell phones and just smash them up when we get done or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then you're stupid because you actually got on a plane and went back to St. Louis when the crime was happening. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Let me go back a little bit and read this. D said that I feel the insurance agent is just as guilty. I heard the recording. Tim said it was going down when it did, and that L knew after a while what was going on. I feel like after a while, YL is not a dumb man. He put two and two together, okay, and figured it out. But by that time, it was too late. He was already in too deep. He couldn't get out. He had already processed the paperwork without the interview that he kept asking for. He kept asking Tim, I need that interview. I need for you to get on the phone with these guys. All I need is 5 minutes of your time. He kept saying that. And after a minute, YL had to have thought, hold up, I feel something ain't right. But by that time, you've pushed his paperwork through. You've already vouched for this person. He had to vouch for Tim. He probably lied a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To get Tim the policies or whatever. But whatever happened, YL is definitely guilty. His hands are not clean. He played a huge part in getting those insurance policies passed through. He absolutely did. D said that he was guilty and he thought he was going to get his better to be safe again than sorry. Ree says Andre's friend was shot that night. Tim used it to his advantage, gang related. Exactly. And, anything to light off of him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Crystal. Crystal says that he wore the best because the streets were talking. He wore the best because he was showing out. I'm just playing. But yeah, I believe that he probably felt like he needed security and a bulletproof vest because people were looking at him. Andre did say, do not forget this. If you're taking notes about this case, do not forget this important piece of the puzzle. Andre did tell his family, if in fact anything ever happens to me, you need to look at Tim. And we know that to be true because here on the show, so y'all know she wasn't lying. And the people that follow her on social media backed her up. So Andre knew that Tim was up to no good. There was something churning. There was something going on behind the scenes. So, because nobody just says stuff like that. If anything happens to me, you need to look at my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Nobody actually, Eat with Phil says that yes, YL is just as guilty. He knew Tim was pretending to be Andre. He had to know all of that crap. Like it should have, I was like, hold up. YL can't be this stupid, even if it took you a minute to catch on. Another text should have said, Tim, what are you talking about? Tim, are you lying to me? You know what I'm saying? When you get a moment, call me, bruh. Get out while you still can. Now look at you. You're trapped in a whole murder case because you were trying to help. What were you going to get out of it, though? That was my thing. Because look at it like this. We all have, if you don't have insurance policies, if you're not old enough, you will. It takes some signatures. It takes some, stuff to get a insurance policy passed through. Because when you pass away, there's a lot of money that is coming towards you, but you paid into it. So it was important enough for Tim to pay these premiums. And that's why YL get your premium dropped. You won't pay as much as you have been paying. You understand what I'm saying? So here, he's already invested in this because Tim is his boy. He's trying to help him out. But for me, for that conversation to be as loose as it was via text message, I would have been asking some questions if I was the insurance agency. If I was the agent, if I was YL, I would have definitely had some questions. Jaja says, answer me this. If Tim was behind breaking in Miss Robbie's house, supposedly for documents related to getting the policies, why didn't he have accurate info for Solidarity for the policies? I have no earthly idea except for he actually, Tim just didn't, all of this was a farce. All of it was just a farce. It was a ruse. It was not supposed to go down that way. Tim was waiting for something bad to happen, is what that was. Tim was waiting on something bad to happen and it didn't. And then, he had to hurry up. He had to think of a plan real quick because everybody was going to find out what he did. So that's the way I feel. And he didn't have all of the documents to be cashed. Like he wasn't going to get the check. And he did all of this thinking that he was going to get a check and did not get a check. So that's the way I feel about that. Tim just never liked the poor baby. Tim doesn't like anybody but himself. The police cleared Dre of the robbery. Exactly. Because he was working with the police. He was definitely working with them. And you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. And D Campus says, I want sloppy joes now. Oh, D said, yep, $145, Mutual of Omaha. Thank you. Yep, exactly. So he was paying those premiums every month. Those premiums. Really? Now that's an interesting fact. Hey, Veronica. Maybe Tim wore a bulletproof vest due to owing another person money or the streets beef with owing another person money or street beef with other people in St. Louis area. I totally understand what you're saying. You guys, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm coming. I'm back. I'm here. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back. All right. What have you guys been talking about? Don't leave us. All right. The witnesses reported, what was it? The witnesses reported that Andre spoke with a female. It was Terica. Exactly. It was Terica that he spoke with. I think somebody actually was after Tim, to be honest with you. With all of the dirty stuff that he had done and he owed a lot of people money, Tim was trying to find a way. Tim was trying to find a way. He needed some money. He was trying to find a way. Philly Phil says, I'm not sure if Miss Robbie knew that, but somebody in the family suspected Tim. Hi, Sherelle. The family in St. Louis and no one even speaks on this case. I don't know if they've been advised not to, but I know before lawyers were even uh, introduced into this case that, they were like, we're not talking about this. You know what I'm saying? So if they do talk about it, it's amongst family. They're not speaking on this at all. And I can't say that I blame them. As a commentator, I wish they would, but having a heart and, trying to imagine what I would feel like, I think it's good for them if they just remain silent until after all of this, you know, is laid to rest and everybody is sentenced and, the last verdict is given. I feel like, yeah, they probably should just remain quiet. They shouldn't say anything. Not a good sign. They should think about Andre. They should. That's intriguing to me. I want to hear from the family, Tim's family, literally crickets. I would like them to say something. You know what I mean? I would like them to say something. Definitely. At you sideways, I laugh so hard. I think it's respect for Miss Robbie and her business. Definitely that. I bet Charles knew it was Tim. Sure, Charles and Andre talked about him. First of all, I do think that it's out of respect for Miss Robbie. If Miss Robbie asked the family not to speak, on social media about this, then I'm pretty sure that's what this whole thing is because, Tim is her son, regardless of what we, the public, think about Tim and this whole situation. That, Miss Robbie is in her 80s and this is very stressful. So, she's not our age, you know what I'm saying? She can't handle this the way somebody else would. This has definitely got to be a time in her life that she never thought would even be happening. Jaja said, I don't care what nobody says. If I ride for my family and believe they are wrong, accused or something, I'm gonna say something. I understand that. We're better detectives than feds. I would like to hear from Andre. Now, Miss Griggs has, she's said some comments here and there or whatever, but I can say that they're a little bit more verbal than Miss Robbie's family, but at the same time, they're kind of, you know, for them, it's a little bit different in where they're, that's where Miss Robbie and the Griggs family relate. They're reliving this because they were closest to Andre. So they're reliving this. My brother needs justice. My son needs justice, and then Miss Robbie, my grandson needs justice. But then when you look at if my grandson gets justice, that means that my son is going to have to pay. You have to be cold as ice water to kill your brother's son. This is the only piece of your brother that you have. You don't have anything else. You know what I'm saying? There are no grandchildren. There's no other offspring. There's Andre. And this is, you know what I'm saying? Instead of embracing him, you mastermind his demise. And twisted. And then you're on the phone with YL pretending that Andre's father is right there with you and, you'll put him on the phone where he knows he can hear you. We're on three-way, whatever. That is so creepy, disrespectful, dishonorable, just the lowest of the low. And you can't say it didn't happen, Tim, because we've all seen the evidence. We have seen the evidence in black and white. Tim is never going to walk. He's not going to see the light of day anymore outside of a jail cell. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because as soon as Terica was arrested, she said, my whole part in this was, as soon as she said that, She said, Tim hired me to do such and such. He did he? Oh, well, see, there you go. When my mother's social security check came up stolen, I knew it was my crackhead sister. Woo! And I made her give it back, period. Girl, that's deep. And then Tim smiled for a mugshot. And that was creepy. I heard that was narcissist behavior. Family is family. And either way, she knows Mr. Tim did it. I feel like I do feel like Miss Robbie knows. I feel like that she knows that her son is guilty in some part in one way or another. And at this point, she doesn't want him to feel bad or whatever it is. Like I don't know what to say because I'm thinking like, yeah, that's my son, but you should feel bad. You should feel bad because you put this whole train in motion. You should feel bad because Andre is your nephew, your only brother. Like your brother's son is gone. You don't have anybody else. Like that was it. No more Montgomerys. And so I feel like, yeah, she knows that he's guilty in some part, but at the same time, it's like, that's my son. I pray to God every day, please don't ever put me in that situation because I would lose my mind. That's one of those things where you just pull, I give up. Yeah, Tim smiling on the mugshot was definitely creepy. Definitely creepy. And I still to this day don't understand why. So listen real quick, because I only have 30 more minutes. T, do you believe or know if Terica and Terrell are related? People seem to think they are. Well, they don't look alike to me, and I don't think they're related in any way because for me, and I know why they're saying that because of the phone records, but you wouldn't be talking to me on the tracker phone. You would be talking to me on my regular cell phone. So I don't feel like that they're related. It would shock me a little bit if they were, but I don't see the resemblance and I don't see, you know what I'm saying? They don't share a last name. I don't see, any relatives back and forth. When you do your research, you know what I'm saying? Nothing pops up that, they're related at all. So I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they are. Reese says that I love if she did something. I couldn't imagine. Like me and my daughter are like this. I could not imagine if she came and said, "Mom, I did something." If she said I pulled a Tim Norman, I would just like literally die. Just Lord, take me now. The only person left on his brother's side. This is so sad. It's beyond sad. It's creepy. It's sad. And the thing that really gets me about this guy is that he has no remorse. So that's the thing that really, he's so stone faced about this whole thing. Unless he's crying in his sleep or something, he is so, and it's like, are you not going to say anything? Do you not have, will they not let him make a statement to the public? I'm like, what's wrong with you? Even at the time of the arrest, you were smiling. This is not the time for you to be smiling, dude. Like, ugh, it frustrates me. It frustrates me so much. Reese said, I love my daughter so hard. The only person left in his brother's side. All right, let me go down a little bit. They're all evil. Terica went to give Andre the pants, and she could have worn him on the down low. I'm trying to figure out why she had a pair of pants for Andre clothes already. What kind of magic pants were these? Andre is in the studio, you know what I'm saying, working, and then you got some pants that he's just gonna, just shut everything down and walk outside for? Dude, really? Terica also said the man on the other end of the phone had a deep voice. She didn't say his name. Right. She didn't say his name. It's hurts to know that we will never see Andre again. Exactly. Like never. Tim has no remorse about this at all. He's lifting weights, eating noodles. Oh God. The pants was a decoy. I know, but it could have been something else besides a pair of pants. But Tim was probably like, just make something up, just say anything. So it's like, I mean, unless he's homeless and, his girlfriend threw all of his stuff in the middle of the street and he has absolutely no clothes, I just can't see, like were the MC Hammer pants, were like, what kind of pants could Terica probably, were they like rip away pants or something? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Did Michael Jordan wear these pants or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm saying about this case, you guys, is some of this stuff is so stupid. Some of this stuff is so dumb. It's like you have a little bit of smart mixed in with a little bit of stupid, and it's just chaotic. This is stupid. Yeah, she was trying to draw him out. Well, I mean, it worked. Like I said, I don't know what kind of magic pants these were, but it worked. Tim changed the time. She used the pants as an excuse to meet him. They were True Religion pants. Okay, well, all right. Dee said maybe he wanted to get some, a stripper. Who knew? I mean, for all I know, they probably did get together at one point in time. But I know she was definitely getting with Tim. They were on again, off again, remember? And then there's speculation that her baby could be by Tim. I don't know. And that's just speculation. Nobody knows for sure. I gave you guys video footage of his actual son, his second son, and he is so cute and so adorable. Like, I love looking at that kid. He's adorable. The dreamer said, I'm not if Drake, I don't know. I don't know. Like, was there a package beside him or something? Like, we don't know. If he got out of the car, did he get out of the car with the pants? Because according to Terica's testimony, it was only a few seconds between the time Andre got out of her car and then the gunshot to the head. She had already drove off. She said she heard the gunshots. It was so quick. I mean, like literally everything happens so quick and I'm just like, I don't know. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, Terica says that she didn't know what was actually going to happen, right? So if that's the case, why didn't you check on Andre? Unless, he's never been your friend, you really didn't care. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't know that he was actually going to get shot, would it not have made sense, for her to at least call Andre back and be like, hey, are you okay? If you didn't want to turn around and go back because you heard the gunshots. It just, a lot of stuff doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Business to lose weight, right? She should have given 50 years to think about it. She should be given 50 years to think about it. I can't see any of them getting out. I know she knew. That was a lie from the pit of hell, Philly Phil. We all know that she knew. These people are trying to play dumb, and they're not very good at it. They're not very good at it at all. Exactly. Just be real. She knew, but she's saying that she didn't know. Like we're all going to buy that. She didn't know. She didn't know. But she knew. And we all know that I mean, nobody's that stupid to lure the boy outside of the house. Oh, yeah, because Andre supposedly stole the money from Miss Robbie, and Tim's boys were going to get up on him. And that's why she was paid $10,000 to lure Andre out of the studio so that he could get beat up. Okay. All right. Allegedly, Reese says Tim told Terica that his boys weren't ready earlier, so she came up with the pants as a second excuse. She can take several seats. I think all of them should have several seats, and they will. It's going to go on for so long because I want the trial to happen now, but I understand why, because, this is a complex case. I get it. But I feel like at the end of the day, this is an open and shut case. I feel like they probably have enough evidence to execute. Do you guys think so? Who else is missing from this equation? What else, what other evidence do we need? I mean, there is enough evidence and there's enough testimony, in my opinion, to sentence some of these folks. But at the same time, I do understand that Travell Hill may possibly have some other pending circumstances, the same as YL, that don't have anything to do with this case. So what happens in that case? What happens, will YL go to court for his other charges that don't have anything to do with this case, as well as Travell? And then this case happens. Maybe that's why they pushed it back, because it is a complex case and there's more than one charge for at least two of these people. You go, career criminals. I don't know how many more. They just keep saying they. She would have took the pants to the door and make sure they fit. Yeah, she knew. I think they have plenty of evidence as well, you guys. And it would really floor me if Tim, got off scot-free, but that's never going to happen because of the testimony that's already came to pass. So who wired Travell Hill his $5,000, sent $5,000. He got that $5,000 from Tim. The dreamer said when she took that money, she became an accessory to murder, allegedly. She had knowledge that something was going down. And Tim was not like a rich man. So if Tim was issuing out $5,000 over here and $10,000 over there, what were you issuing the money out for? Because they needed some help? What was the money about if it wasn't for what they said? Because Terica already let the cat out of the bag. So even if you were saying my boys wanted to get up on Andre because he stole my mom's money, he still lost his life. So this still ain't looking good for you, Tim, because your boys could have said, well, let's just shoot him. I ain't got time to beat him up. See what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Reese says the phone records show Terica made 2 phone calls, one to Tim and one to Travell. Exactly. Are you all with me? Justice for Andre's mom. I feel it. I'm down. I feel like also that Andre's mother should definitely be able, or before the end of the trial, I think that she definitely, hey sis, how you doing, boo? I feel like she definitely should have, a statement, and be ready to speak her mind and speak her truth. Everybody should know. I feel like the jurors, they should know what effect this has had on, his entire family. And that should weigh in on how they rule. You know what I'm saying? If I'm making any sense at all, this is, mental anguish. This is suffering. This is, sleepless nights. This is being so distraught you can't work. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And I feel like that she definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, should be able to make a statement during the trial, before the trial is over, so the jurors can hear what she has to say. Maybe his sister can represent the siblings as well. I feel like that whoever had an inside track on what Andre was saying about if anything happens to me, look at Tim. I think that all of that should touch the jurors' ears, because they need to know, everybody needs to know, the entire film should be left, everything should be overturned, looked up under, nooks and crannies, the whole nine. What are you talking about? We are talking about the Tim Norman case. D says, WL knows the truth. We may be afraid witness protection program. Ain't nobody getting no witness protection. Ain't nobody. You did the crime, you pay the time. Dre's mother and siblings get to speak at the end of the case. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Because listen, listen. I know that some of y'all probably don't want to talk about this, but I did promise that we were going to talk about this. A woman sues R. Kelly for medical records, says he gave her herpes. I know, it's disgusting, right? Listen to this. It's been a minute since we've heard anything on the legal troubles of R. Kelly. And I think I better share. Can I share my screen on this? And keep up with that. I'm here to hear about Kelly Cosby. Let me go ahead and get my screen. All right. But this week, the disgraced platinum selling singer got slapped with a new lawsuit from a victim who wants some retribution for the damage he inflicted on her life. Okay. According to Page 6, with another blog that I listened to, Faith Rogers is the name of the lady, and Faith Rogers is taking the I Wish singer to court, demanding that he turn over his medical records about his STD status after alleging that Kelly gave her that. Rogers claims that the 53-year-old deviant carried a 1-year-long relationship with her in which he would lock her up whenever she didn't sexually please him, and eventually learned that she had contracted herpes. Can I say that? It's too late. I already said it. Rogers had asked the Manhattan Supreme Court to force the Chicago crooner to hand over all documents regarding her sexual transmitted infection status for the past 5 years, such as any medications, diagnosis, and related documents, the court papers from Tuesday show. Rogers is also seeking Kelly's financial tax pay stubs, plane ticket receipts, hotels, phone records, and medical records from January 2017 through January 2019, according to the court documents. The discovery demands requested are in the normal courts of a civil action, and we will respond to the pleadings as required by law, Kelly's lawyer said. So given R. Kelly's documented past, there's a good chance that he was a solid case. He has a solid case. She has a solid case on her hands, excuse me. R. Kelly is already facing sex crime charges related to 6 other women and girls, with the trial set to begin in April. So don't be surprised if more women come forward with more allegations in the coming months, and I'm sure that they will. And this is very close to Tim Norman's case, you guys. This is very, very, very close to Tim Norman's case. Yes. Yep. It is possible that he gave her the herpes. So, oh, that's so disgusting. Hi, Shy. The pants got me too, girl. I feel you. Listen, R. Kelly, D, you are stupid. D said R. Kelly believed that he could fly. Let's see him try now. There should be no mercy for the sicko. Looky here. Looky. R. Kelly, you need to just have several seats. It's over, dog. You got this lady with the new law case. You have 6 other women. You got 6 other women. So that makes 7 women now. And all your child support cases. What you going to do? Going to jail. You're going to spend some time in the slammer, son. I'm sorry, but you're going to spend some time in the slammer. And I don't know. It's really disgusting to feel this way. I don't know what to say. Does that mean he still has herpes, or maybe he got rid of it? And if she has it, how many other How many other people did he give it to? How many other women contracted any type of disease from this guy? Dang, boy, you weren't just spreading around good music, sir. You were spreading around some other things, sir. R. Kelly is already facing sex crime charges. Now, the sex crime charges we all know were from women who said, he tortured me, his ex-wife, as well as people who were under the age of 18. Okay, so keep that in mind as you look over this case related to 6 women. And if you didn't see the R. Kelly special that aired on Fox, it was phenomenal. And I think you can still get it on Hulu and or Netflix. It shed light on a lot of things. R. Kelly is definitely a menace. I feel, well, let me just say this. Let me just keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. This is my commentary, and this is how I feel about R. Kelly and the situation. Um, R. Kelly is the prime example of someone who runs from their actual calling. In no way, shape, or form was R. Kelly ever supposed to be, R. Kelly and doing all of this. If you remember, years and years and years ago, he knew, and this was around the time that he wrote I Run to You for Whitney Houston. And he wrote another song or whatever. Anyway, he sang that song at the funeral. He knew that his true calling was to be a part of the ministry. Now, I have always been warned, you need to, do what the Lord tells you to do. I don't care what you want to do. It's not about what you want to do. But if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and I know everybody's not going to, and everybody here is not a Christian, I get that. But for him, he already made statements throughout his career. And that's why, he did work with some gospel legends, because he knew that's where he was supposed to be. I'm just saying. And when you go crazy, when you lose, you can't straddle the fence. You got to choose a side. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. Don't come for me, y'all. That's just how I feel. And he should have either said no and just been a heathen, or yes, and just come all the way in instead of trying to straddle the fence. That's all I'm saying. Now you got mayhem. Listen, maybe they might, become cell buddies or something. Maybe they can talk it out. Maybe they can get saved together. I don't know. We can only dream. We can wish for that. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but at some point in time, you just have to take responsibility for your actions instead of saying, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. No, take actions for your responsibilities and, just say, hey, listen, I did this. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. Tough love. Tough love. Okay, what do I got? I have 15 minutes. We're going to talk about Bill Cosby, but if you guys have any, stuff to say about any of these people, feel free. The chat is always open, and y'all know I love seeing your comments. I love reading your comments. I'm sorry, what was that? Hood Classic Television. I need a mod. Do I have any mods in the house? Hood Classic Television, we don't do that here. Okay? I'm telling you this for your own good before you get your channel shut down. Don't come in here with that mess, because I will report you. Don't you ever come in here and disrespect me, my co-host, my audience. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. That's what this is. This is not about that. So if you want to If you want to do some mess like that, you need to go somewhere else. Did somebody get him? Because I can't see his comment anymore. That's literally disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. You didn't see it? All right, just be real. I got you. Thank you, hon. I mean, some people need to watch what you do. That is so disrespectful. Ugh, Jesus wept. All right, let's go ahead and get this out in the open. Bill Cosby. There has been so much. When I did the video on Bill Cosby, I did not know I was going to get that many comments. People are still caring. Yeah, I listen. Just be real. Got him. Just be real. She's in here a lot. Somebody made this comment, F my Jesus and all this kind of stuff, and I don't do that in here. Hood Classic Television said that. He said, drown your babies and F your fake A Jesus. So you just came in here to say that, Hood Classic Television. Don't worry though, I got you. Because you're blocked now. You won't ever come in here again, I bet you that. How about that? Anywho, block game is tight. Praise God. Um, okay, so let me go down the road of Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby had all of these women come forth, and it was like, you did this to me and you did that to me, and it looks like it only took one person to set this in motion, and then just a whirlwind of people were outed. There's a reason for everything, but I feel like at this moment, and given Bill's health and given Bill's age, there's nothing else he can do. There's no more mayhem he can do. And I feel like, even his physique or whatever, it's really not good. I think he's blind in that eye right now and everything. I think he needs to go home. And the only reason I say this is because I remember when my biological father, he got 2 life sentences plus 54 years on his life. He was a drug lord. Not proud of it, but you can't pick and choose your parents. And I remember when he got deathly sick, he had 2 strokes, congestive heart failure, and then we found out that he had lesions on his brain. And they allowed him to come home because they didn't want the responsibility. The prison system here, they don't go for that. There was no, he knew that this was the end. When they let him out of prison and he came home, I knew it was going to be a big responsibility for me to try to take care of this guy. And knowing what his past was like and what he put my family through and my mom through, what I'm saying? I looking back on what I've gone through, and then looking back on this whole case with Bill Cosby and the daughter that nobody knew he had, and how Camille must have felt betrayed and all of this kind of stuff. Bill Cosby has done some things. He has. And I'm not saying he should get a pass because, he's sick and in jail. I'm just saying that he's not in a position where he can do, more damage. And I feel like those people got his money. The one lady, she's already been paid her money. So at this point, you let the man go and have his last few years or whatever at home. He'll be in hospice soon. Exactly. Now, everybody's saying, yeah, he needs to go home. He does. He needs to go home. He doesn't need to be, in prison, suffering in prison. He's too old for this, and it's not like, he can't do anything. He can't. He can't do anything else. Have you guys seen? Let me see if I can pull up a picture of Bill Cosby so you guys can see. Just in case you guys haven't seen Bill. He's not well. Bill Cosby is not well. And this is so sad. Okay, I got the article that I need, so I'm going to put this up on the screen. I may go over time a little bit, but I just found what I was looking for. So, a timeline of the abuse charges against Bill Cosby. 30 years ago this fall, The Cosby Show debuted in BC. The book is notable, however, for its complete advocates of sexual abuse allegations that have dogged Cosby for more than a decade. In a statement to BuzzFeed, Whitaker says, "I didn't want to print allegations that I couldn't confirm independently. Regardless, their absence is glaring. Consider the following timeline and appendix to the book." And this is regarding his book. If you didn't know, he's a published author. So in November of 2002, Andrea Costan, I think is her last name, director of operations for Temple University women's basketball team, allegedly met with Bill Cosby. Costan claims that Cosby, who had been a member of Temple's track and field and football teams, assumed a role as her mentor. Then there was another charge in January, then another charge in January 2005, then another one in January 27th, 2005. ABC News reported that in interaction between Costan and Cosby, who is at the point cooperating with investigation, might have been consensual, which still, for me, you know what I'm saying? You weren't a kid. That's the thing. If these people were children, I would totally, feel different. But whatever. Let me go on. In February 10, 2005, Tamara Green came forth in California. Then in February 17th, citing a lack of evidence in the investigation, they announced that he will not act on Costan's accusations and bring criminal charges against Cosby. This went on and on and on. The timeline goes all the way 2014. Let's keep going. November, December 2014. I mean, it's a laundry list. I'm not going to read all of these, but I will put this in the description box so you guys can go over it if you want to. But it is ridiculous out of all the things that happen. July 18th, October 2015, December 30th, 2015, and I think it ended there in December 30th, 2015. Prosecutors in Pennsylvania's Montgomery court charged Cosby with 3 counts of sexual assault in the Andrea Costan case, the first criminal charges Cosby had faced since the allegations surfaced. Okay, the statute of limitations in the alleged 2004 assault reportedly runs out in January 2016. So at his arraignment, Cosby surrenders his passport and is released on a $1 million bail. So far, nearly 60 women have accused Cosby of sexual assault. 60 women accused him. And I know that Janice Dickinson lied because they said that she lied on the stand. She admitted to it, and so did Beverly Johnson. And I think, I think that Beverly Johnson was actually paid. I don't think that she was touched at all, because at one point in time, she was giving him praises and, oh, we love Bill Cosby. He's American Dad. And then all of a sudden you end up on the stand talking against him. Like, lady, get your wig line together. Leave Bill Cosby alone. These people thought Bill Cosby was like mega rich or something. Like, seriously, I'm not even kidding. Bill Cosby needs to go home. But guess what? On December the 10th, which was 2 days ago, Bill Cosby loses appeal of sexual assault conviction. And I am totally against it. Bill Cosby will remain in prison for sexual assault after the Pennsylvania Superior Court affirmed his conviction for 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault Tuesday. So Cosby is currently serving a sentence of 3 to 10 years for drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Costan at his home outside of Philadelphia in 2004. And he's not going anywhere. He was also accused by 60 other women, which, like I just said, 2 of them lied on the stand. They had not been tortured or anything by Bill Cosby. Cosby sought to overturn the conviction and prison sentence on a number of legal points, asking the Superior Court to review questions such as, number one, whether the lower court should have allowed the 5 women to testify. I disagree with that. Number two, whether the complaint should have been dismissed based on a 2005 agreement with prosecutor. I totally think it should have. And number three, whether details from Cosby's disposition about his possession and distribution of quaaludes to women in the 1970s should have been allowed. Okay, I feel like it should have. If you had possession of quaaludes and you were actually giving this stuff to women, I feel like that should have been looked at. That right there should have been looked at. But the Superior Court rejected Cosby's assertions, laying out its reasoning in a 94-page opinion that backed the lower court's handling of the case, from the decision to allow evidence of prior bad acts to the way the judge and Palin instructed the jury. So, no, Bill's not going anywhere. And here you can see the 2019 PA Superior 354, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William Henry Cosby Jr. And this is 94 pages long. And I will put the link in the description box if you guys want to check this out yourself. But this right here is saying that he did not make it. He's going to remain in prison. And this is what this 94 page is all about, the court hearing. You guys. I know, Sharon. I know. I just feel like it was so stupid. Hi, Harold. Harold said you don't hear any more of the gentleman playing on a house of cards. He raped the whole crew, and you know his sentence. Know his sentence anymore? What? You don't hear any more on the gentleman played on the house of cards. He raped the whole crew, and you know his sentence anymore. Who the heck? Do I need to look this up? Because that sounds crazy. I think half of them lied. I do too. Well, I know Janice Dickinson lied because they caught her in the lie and she had to confess to lying. She was actually paid to lie. So if Janice Dickinson was paid to lie, then how are the men? I know that Beverly Johnson was not telling the truth. I know those two women lied for sure. The timing was strange. Why the white men get to walk? Yo, I'm gonna leave that alone. Sharon, you're so silly. Yeah, Kevin Spacey. Yes, we won't hear of him. He is right. The thing is crazy. I just feel like leave Bill Cosby alone. Let him go home. He doesn't have that much time left. Considering, and I understand that they will give you, health benefits while you're in prison and all that kind of stuff. It's the law. I get that. But I totally disagree with holding this man. Like, if he was at the age to, continue doing stuff like this, then yeah, keep him locked up. But I just disagree. For whatever reason, I just don't feel like he should still be in prison. I feel like he should have won the appeal. We don't hear of him. Okay, Kevin Spacey. I did hear about Kevin Spacey. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I know I spelled it wrong. Let's see. Kevin Spacey, sexual assault allegations, everything we know. This was December 24th, 2018, accused in a lawsuit of sexual offenses. I don't think anything happened to him. The rise and fall of Kevin Spacey. People.com. Kevin Spacey is facing a sexual assault lawsuit from an actor, Anthony Rapp, 3 years after the latter initial accusation. I free, you guys. I don't think anything has happened to him yet. And I used to think he was an amazing actor. Let's see, do I have you guys? Am I sharing with you guys? Am I sharing? Let me share my screen so you guys can see what I see. Kevin Spacey timeline, how the story unfolded. So this is him, Kevin Spacey. Okay, this started in 2017. He had an interview with BuzzFeed. Then he made a statement. Then we go to Tuesday, the 31st October. Oh, God. Netflix announces it has suspended production on the sixth series of House. Okay, that's what you were talking about, House of Cards, to give us time to review the current situation and to address any concerns of our cast and crew. My God. Jesus, this thing is long as crap. So on Wednesday, 17th July 2019, the charges were dropped. Prosecutors in Massachusetts dropped the criminal case relating to charges of indecent assault and battery, which stemmed from the accusation Spacey groped an 18-year-old man at a bar in 2016. The charges are dropped after the accuser refuses to testify about a missing phone. The actor's lawyers accuse the man of deleting crucial text messages and say that the phone could be used to prove their client's innocence. Well, he's free. That's what happened to Kevin Spacey. Look at that. But Bill's not going anywhere. Yeah, Bill's not going anywhere. But Kevin, he's at home chilling. Harold says the co-star of the House of Cards was charged with all those rapes. You don't hear about it anymore. Well, we see why now. We see why. A little bit of research will get you a lot. Won't it just be real estate, girl? You know, Verizon can find anything. Stop playing. The Dreamer says that 45 is facing rape charges in New York as well. He should be. I feel so too. I don't think it was just dismissed. Ree got it right. They covered that one right on up. Harold said only in Black America it's just us that's crucified when it comes to these courts. Woo, child. Well, I'm glad I could find that bit of information for you guys. I'm glad that we got to uncover some of this stuff. I do think that that's unfair to Bill Cosby. Um, I'm watching the R. Kelly stuff, and I'm definitely watching the Tim Norman stuff. Yes, but do you Cheerios gonna walk, girl? Really? All right, guys. My 2 hours are up. I know we've been having a ball, but I'm gonna get out of here. Give a shout out to everybody that came in. I was so happy to see Philly Phil in the building. So happy to see my girl Sincerely A. Lucy in the building. And all of my co-hosts, the Victory Village. Don't forget to join the village. Hit that button. See that button? Yes, it's right beside the subscribe. Y'all got to hit that join button and join the Victory Village so y'all can get that exclusive content. I think that'll be just nice for y'all to join. Oh, girl, they gon' listen. The next time I come to y'all with some R. Kelly news, because y'all know he got beat up. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I shouldn't be laughing. Did they jump R. Kelly in the jailhouse? Ooh, child. Okay, I'm gonna go before I get myself in trouble. I love y'all so much. If you have not, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Y'all can get that exclusive content. You didn't know, girl. You didn't know. This was when, listen, R. Kelly thought he was gonna get out, so he was talking bad. He was talking, he was talking mad trash. You know what I'm saying? You watch your mouth when you're in jail. These people don't play. These are hardened criminals. Yes. These are hardened criminals. Ain't nobody care. Listen, let me tell you, when you're out here in the free world and you have a big name, like R. Kelly or whatever, it goes a long way. Reese said, we are not laughing. I'm not. I just got tickled. Listen, when you go to jail, you are no longer a celebrity or a superstar unless you Lucius Lyon. R. Kelly is not a celebrity in jail. But we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about it. I need to get some information on it a little bit. I love y'all to life. Y'all give me life. I love Saturdays because I get to talk to y'all freely for a couple of hours. Posted. Keep sending those show ideas and I will keep cranking out content for you guys. Thank you for everybody being here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and join the Victory Village VIP if you would like to. Don't forget, you guys, to live on purpose every day of your life. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Bye for now, guys.